So welcome back, everyone. How do you feel? Maybe let's start with that question. Are you motivated or are you tired? I think music and drama also make people tired. How do you feel? Oh, thank you. Energized. Yes. I'm happy. I have extra energy. I don't know how, where do I get it? Okay. Amazing. I'm happy to hear this. Wow. Okay. So while you're answering, Janice, can we see the results? Thank you, Suzanne. Thank you, everyone. So let's see, what did you say before you watched it? Yes. Whoa. Okay. Almost everybody said yes. Just a few people said maybe. But what's important is that we didn't have no's. I think that's important. What do you say, Hedi?
Yes, I agree with you.
Great. So those of you who said maybes, would you consider and switch your answer to yes? If you're, of course, want to share with us your change of heart. Very good. So is somebody changing the answer from maybe to yes? I'm really curious. Let's see. Yes. We converted someone. Great. Yes. Yes. Okay. Every song has a story. Okay, so I would love to chat with you. So let's see your questions, observations, and experiences. Oh, while we wait, Hedi, you can use some of your questions. Maybe let's go to the reflective questions. So I pasted the first question. It said, reflect on the song selection checklist and write down the most important aspects of the checklist. That's pretty much an independent assignment. I don't want to say homework, but I'm curious to know, did you remember anything from the song selection checklist? Did you remember anything from the song selection checklist? Oh, well, you're right. There was one question in the workshop. A person asked, Iris, yes, asked for the presentation. I said yes, of course, so you can get it. Okay. If we have no comments on the song selection checklist, we have one question for Maria. Can I go to this question?
Yes, and we can even ask Maria to voice her question.
Yes. So if you want, please unmute.
Hi, hello.
Hi, Maria. Hello.
Hello. Just very interesting. I really enjoyed watching your presentation. It just brought back lots of old memories. Anyway, it's of course. I mean, I just thought that we would cover perhaps different age range groups. But anyway, my question was, what is the best age group to use or to start using? The teaching physical response.
Mm-hmm.
So
Okay.
that was just my question.
Great.
And which age group do you start using it with?
Well, I mean, I am a preschool teacher, so for me that question is pretty straightforward. So from 3 years up. But if you are an English teacher teaching in a primary school with young learners, not with very young ones, then of course from the first grade as soon as possible, because I think TPR can be done even with the infants. They can move a little bit. Their little hands do like to move. So as early as possible. What do you think, Maria? Oh, she's muted again.
Yeah. No, I just have to agree with you because I taught the very little ones, 5-year-olds, many years ago in the 80s, and of course, I mean, it was really very very enjoyable, and I used this mythology. I couldn't use. I mean, the best thing I could use with them was songs, and I mean, one of the first songs I remember was "Can You Color the Rainbow?" because we learned colors, and it was we would sing that song. But what I used to do, I made them listen to the song first, but they had already learned the colors through flashcards, and of course repetition and imitation in the class. And anyway, many other nursery rhymes I used, and it worked with the little ones. And 5-year-olds, of course, when they were bilingual students, bilingual,
Mhm.
yeah, students,
Great,
and that was a third language added.
Mhm.
So of course that was just everything was done through songs and nursery rhymes and props,
Cool.
and they did learn a lot of vocabulary.
Yes.
I have to admit though that speaking and being able to construe proper sentences, it wasn't that easy.
Mhm.
You know, that it took them a
Yes.
while, because 5-year-old with 2 languages already
Yes.
bilingual. But it did, I mean, to me that was ideal. I mean, no writing, I think we didn't do any
No, no,
writing,
no.
nothing.
No.
And I remember later on using Dr. Seuss
Yes. Okay.
materials as well for teaching. And anyway,
Great.
it worked. It worked, and it was very, very enjoyable. So
Amazing. I'm so
I,
happy to hear your experience. And if anybody is teaching very young learners, so from age 3 to maybe 6, you're completely right. They should not even be talking by then. You know, it's all input. We're in the language acquisition. There should not be output. It's almost no production except the body movement and understanding. So I think that's normal. It's pretty normal. I don't expect 3-year-olds to just speak. Yes, but having fun is very, very important. I just want to point it out, since we mentioned Dr. Seuss. uh, we live in 2021, so if you're using Dr. Seuss books, be careful. There are about 10 books who were taken down from the list because of being racist and bigotrist. Not the whole collection, but there are 10 selected ones, so Google it. Don't, I think we should not expose kids to this stuff when we can avoid it, right? So it was made in a different age. So I love Dr. Seuss, but I became very careful, so I'm analyzing everything before using it. So I just wanted to point that out. Yeah. Maybe it's not a topic of this workshop, but I think that's a topic for every day, right? I don't know if you agree. Okay, so let's just check what everybody said. Okay, so as you said, the song had to be appropriate, yes. It has to be engaging, pertinent to the language lesson, yes. Compatible, yes. Very good. Hi, Gabby. Yes. So I agree with you. That's amazing. Should we continue to the next reflection question?
Yes,
Okay,
please.
amazing. So, how can nursery rhyme books and problematic situations be used for storytelling? So, I have to be honest. Before you answer, when I started talking with Gabby about this topic of this workshop topic, there is not too much methodology and theory behind it. My first idea was nursery rhyme books. They have so many problems. Every character has a problem. What do you think? Can you use nursery rhyme books for storytelling, and how? If you want to chat, of course, like Maria, you can unmute. Just raise your hand.
yeah. Yes, hi again. I do totally agree that you can use nursery rhymes. And as I say, I use them always with the little ones.
Yes.
Because because of the, I mean, it incorporated in the nursery rhymes, there was a problem. And if there wasn't a problem, I mean, the problem always involved an action. And if there wasn't a problem, the action or what was happening was important enough for the kids. And they really got involved. And that makes me, I mean, it takes me back to when another one of the nursery rhymes I used at the beginning with the very little ones was the wheels on the bus. And because they used to go to school by bus as well. So, you know, that was something they were familiar. So it was easy for them to learn the vocabulary and the movements, because they would do the movements, you know, the windscreen sweepers, I mean, the conductor, you know, in and out, and all these activities. And they learn words, and then perhaps, you know, they could, they interiorize these words. And then I would just perhaps say to them, oh, just can you go out of the class? And they would just understand that I was saying go out, you know, or come in. So something was happening, and that's what just they were able to interiorize. And then I do remember using, that was a really very hilarious one. Miss Polly had a dolly.
Yes, Miss Polly had a dolly. She was sick. Yeah, that
And
one is
they
great.
loved it. They loved it because what I used to do was make sure I had all the props, and then they would all choose a different prop. And it was, of course, first we listened to the song. There would be just flashcards to point out Dolly and Sick, and just everything would be, you know, would see in a flashcard, and they will listen, they will see the flashcard, then they will repeat it. And then the final part was they would have to act the song, and they loved it. And it worked. It worked because we just, how are you today? Are you sick? Oh, yes, I'm sick. And then they would repeat that, you know, and with quick, come on, quick. And there were all these
Yes.
kind of like what you call onomatopoeic sounds, which they love. I must say that whenever a song had these onomatopoeic sounds, they loved them.
Yeah.
And they would repeat them, and then they would remember the vocabulary, the dolly, the doctor, the knock at the door, the rat-tat-tat, all this. It worked beautifully. But as I say, with the little ones, you know, once after I had them for a couple of years, of course, things were changing every week. It had to be a different thing, and things have to every, say, 15 minutes had to be different as well. But it's just, I think it's one of the best ways to work with younger kids. But you've got to make sure you have plenty of props, and you yourself energy.
Yes, of course.
Imagination, and also to be able to get down to their level as well.
Great. Thank you for so many amazing experience. I think it's very valuable to hear so much. I want to just continue to the chat box. I see a lot of great collaboration happening. So let's just see. Critical thinking. Yes, it's amazing. 21st century skills, storytelling and music. It's full of it. For example, what is the song now? My brain is not working. Sorry. There is a song with a little boy who is burning himself on a candle. Jack be nimble. And the kids were shocked, and they were asking me, why is he sitting in this picture on a candle? Can't he pour it out? Can he blow it out? So we basically had a project what to do with Jack the Nimble because he's burning himself. So yes, critical thinking, even as I like to call it, engineering. So let's make something for this, for Jack and his behind, right? I think that's an acceptable word, because he was burning himself. And I'm sorry, Gabby. Yes, it's not so fun. That's the reality. Yes, of course, building self-confidence. Okay, I would like to paste the final one. I think Hedy has a lot of great questions later. So the question is, how can we start from TPR and dramatizing and deliver a storytelling session? I skipped one question because it's pretty similar, if that is okay. So I would like to discuss this one. How do we start from TPR and dramatizing and then making it into a storytelling session? Can you remember? But also keeping in mind that we still, the thing with me is I still want to keep a little bit of music. I don't know what you think. I don't want to lose the music completely. I think it's valuable to have it. Hedy, do you have any comments?
Yeah,
While we wait? Yes.
Yeah, Maria touched on this actually in her answer previously. So she was talking about TPR as well. So yeah, summarize it beautifully. But what you said during the your input session is that you would start with some vocabulary to make the students aware with what the session is going to be about.
Yes.
And then you would move on to sing and play as well, so including some movements as well, teaching them, you know, the movements so that they copy you. You'd be showing them the example and they just copy you. And then you would involve dramatization as well into that.
Yeah.
And then you mentioned something about the musical instruments, the DIY musical instruments that you can actually prepare yourself, so that you have the orchestra at your fingertips, literally at your fingertips as well.
Yes, amazing. And Gabby says a scaffolded approach. Yes. I also actually think. I know, and I think everybody would agree that singing actually helps you memorize. And when you memorize the song, you can easily turn it into drama, because we've had a discussion a few days ago with some people on LinkedIn. We discussed how can you help young learners learn the text if they want to act, like have a real play. Singing and chanting. I mean, you can't just pass them a sheet with the text, rhythm and rhyme. Yes, so I think it's a great way to do drama. Maybe I like to finish storytelling with drama. I think is the cherry on the top of the cake. Let's act now. Yes. Great.
Yeah, actually, I have a quick question.
Yes.
Basically, there's a new trend that for non-native learner, they become younger and younger, even at preschool age, coming over from, for example, China to UK to learn English at such a young age. Being a preschool teacher yourself, do you think when you have a mixture, let's say when a group of non-native Chinese students at preschool age coming over to UK to learn English and to join nursery for 2 weeks, and in the same room, obviously you have the local student, the native speaker, native children. As a teacher, do you think how you teach them will be different?
So you're talking about a mix between, if you have a preschool classes where you have native children and non-native children.
Yeah.
Well, I mean,
or do you think it's going to be is more or less the same, or would you use a special activity target to native or non-native? Because it's becoming a very popular program and demand from Asia.
I didn't know about that because it doesn't exist in my country. Okay, so we don't have a lot of foreigners coming and mixing. In preschool, yes. So we do have, for example, in Serbia, we have bilingual teachers as well, which is a great thing, I believe. So, for example, we have Hungarian kids and Serbian kids, and then we have Hungarian teacher and a Serbian teacher teaching the same class. So I think all of this it becomes kind of natural. I think it shouldn't be planned too much, because that's preschool. Planning in such a mixed group, planning too much would be, I don't know, maybe 50-50 chances of success. Personally, I would mix the pairs. I would give them a lot of pair work. For example, I want a kid from China to play with dolls with a kid from UK, then mix them up. It's very natural for them. It's just acquisition. So they're just taking all of the creative juices and sharing them. Yes. I don't know. What do you think? I think we had some preschool teachers from UK. You mentioned in the beginning we have some preschool teachers in this context. I am not in this context, but it's a brilliant question. So I think we had...
And I think that this is, again, I'd like to refer back to what Maria shared with us previously as well, that here comes the importance of using prompts, very important, flashcards, whatever we have available, and taking things step by step, really. So teaching, showing students or our pupils, you know, things really one by one and teaching and preparing for this. So just taking it as if you would teach, you know, a native child the
Completely
first
the
word.
same.
You know, when they start speaking, it's just using the same approach.
Yes.
But that needs experience from the part of the teacher as well.
Yes.
So
great. I do have in my storytelling workshops, I do have a mixed ages. So I have children aged 5 who barely speak English, and I have children aged 10. So they always communicate. I never translate. I keep speaking in L2. I keep speaking in English, and I let them translate. So maybe that's another thing I would do in this case. I would let the native children help the other kids and just be friends. I think that's, as you said, step by step, very natural. Yes, I rely on peer teaching a lot. Yes. Sometimes I even go far to pretend I don't speak Serbian, because if they find out I do, they start asking me everything in Serbian. Maybe not a very ethical approach, but sometimes I just don't speak Serbian at all. Yeah, I don't know. What do you think about it? What is your experience with this?
I think for such young age, for preschool, we rely on their teacher from their local school, because we always have the so-called group leader who come over with the group, and the teacher, the English teacher, do rely on them to just act as a bridge, just in case if they you can say scared, freaked out during at the beginning.
Yes, definitely. I mean,
and I can see, just relating to this topic, Gabi has a very interesting question to ask, which says, do you rely on peer teaching with young learners?
Yes. I read her question and I said, yes, of course, a lot of peer teaching, a lot. Especially if it's a group, if the group is mixed. I mean, we can say that if we have children who speak Chinese and children who speak English, it's another kind of a mixed group. It's not age mixed, but it is bilingual. Yes, so definitely. I love it. I think it's interesting, beautiful to see them work together. Another 21st century skill, right? So yes, I do. I don't know what others think. Do you rely on peer teaching with young learners?
I think what you said, Milica, makes sense, exactly, because like young kids want to, you know, play, you know, they want to understand each other, and they do their very best to do so. So whatever they have, you know, whatever resources they have, they will use it. So, you know, if let's say a Chinese kid doesn't understand or the word, like doesn't know the word bucket, but the English speaking kids, you know, the native speaker can show it to them, and they just pick it up, as you said. It is just natural.
It's authentic. It's authentic learning situation. This is why I like nursery rhymes. So I actually prefer to use nursery rhymes more than songs that are made for ESL students. I like authentic materials. This is why I also like books written for native children, and I don't like using stories from the textbook. If we have any material designers, I'm sorry, maybe that's a tip for you. More authentic content, because in textbooks everything is simplified. Everything is not so natural, right? So I love the authentic content. Just like, as you said, a bucket. Give me the bucket of knowledge. Yes.
Exactly.
Tend to look at each other. Yes, sorry.
The rhythm, you know, the music all have, and also repetition, saying the same thing over and over again. That's what kids do. They learn something, and then, you know, they can't stop it. So you will hear them repeating the same thing throughout the day. So exactly. Yes. And
reading the comments, yes. all the time. Marie also says yes, they imitate, of course, the leader. Yes. And I think, as you said, somebody said it's great for self-esteem. It's amazing. What can this do for self-esteem of a child, to teach another child something? Whoa, I can't imagine. That's That's an amazing feeling, probably.
Okay. Milita, I have a question.
Yes.
So, which is related to face-to-face lessons, teaching, telling stories through songs, let's say telling stories through songs, in a face-to-face class, or as opposed to teaching online. So do you have any experience how they are different from each other? What would you do in a different way?
Yes. So are you asking about storytelling in music or in general?
In general, yeah.
In general,
we can address it in general, and we can narrow it down later.
So, I mean, I've been teaching online for 6 years, so I dare say this is not a new thing for me. So, yes, I mean, the method is different, but also pretty much the same. If I taught children a song, I would have my instrument, I would have my props, my flashcards, completely the same like in a face-to-face classroom. I just need to sit back, maybe organize my space. Yes, of course, they can touch. That's bad. That's a little sad because little children need touch. They need to see each other. They need to be close. But it definitely works online completely the same. Just imagine you're sitting in a chair. Imagine that the kids are in a circle. They're not in the computer. For me, it works the same. When it comes to other things that are not music, of course it's different. Of course it's different. You need to communicate with the parents as well. If the kids are young, you need to have a very good connection and communication with parents. Sometimes, for example, we had crafting 2 days ago. We need parents to help kids prepare for the crafting. We need parents to make sure, I don't know, the scissors are safe. So when we're teaching online, we have parents in the class more than maybe in the face-to-face classroom. That's something that I think for new teachers is maybe shocking because they're not used, the parents, to be so much in the classroom. I am. So for me, that's not a problem. That's really nice. Another thing is, of course, props. I'm sorry. You can't teach young learners with bare hands. You can, but not always. So you need to have a closet. I have a closet full of props. So yes, you need to stock up on everything you can show. So for teaching online, yes. And of course, I mean, as I said, I use pretty much the same things. I use LMS for children, so learning management system for kids, which is the same thing that I use face-to-face to chat with parents, share homework, share fun stuff, not homework. Sorry, no homework. Share class materials and things like this. Yes. Of course, Maria. Yes, I've done this many times. I would show you, but I can't. I mean, child protection laws don't allow me to show it. But yes, it works amazingly. For example, last year I did this with clothing. So I had a child who couldn't remember the clothes, and her mom took photos of her in a jacket, in a dress. Then she sent it to me, and I wrote parts of the clothing on her own photos. So yes, even using their own photos is amazing. And yes, I actually have them do it in the class. So that's an amazing activity. And as Maria asked, I noticed the kids love their own flashcards more. I don't have to laminate. They don't rip them. If they make them, they don't rip them. So it works, yes.
Yeah, amazing. And how long does how long does it take to prepare for the lessons, run the lessons themselves? So very often teachers, let's say in a primary school, have 45-minute lessons, and then when telling stories through songs, which is the topic of today's session, involves asking the students to prepare their own flashcards, and then teaching vocabulary, and then teaching them the movements and the wording, and then the song. So it seems to me that it's so long. So what's your suggestion regarding this? How would you structure your lessons?
Okay,
because you can't possibly do all these at once.
So just as you said, I mean, people who, educators, sorry, who teach in primary settings, which are not so flexible. I am free to do whatever I want. Yes, of course, that I'm lucky that way. But I do know there are a lot of educators who wish they had so much freedom. You need to put certain parts, scaffolded parts of the storytelling and music session into different lessons. As you said, vocabulary is probably going to be in maybe one lesson before, learning a song in another lesson, maybe in the end. Then maybe in the final lesson, you can do the storytelling. So you can separate it as little activities if you really need to follow a curriculum. Also, the thing is, a lot of teachers, I know, I mean, I like this approach. A lot of teachers use CLIL, and a lot of teachers use team instruction. In preschools, we have nursery teachers, so they know. We have teams. So basically, we are free to separate it through the team. But in elementary school, it's not that way. So I would suggest put a piece, if you're constricted with time, a piece, a step in different lessons. And then finally, you have a project. That would be my idea. Does anybody have a better idea? I would love to see some better ideas. This is a very important question. Thank you.
That's great, Milita. And another question that has just come to my mind.
Great.
So what's your advice to those who love the idea of telling stories through songs, and are considering incorporating songs into their lessons, but do not have the confidence, and they feel hesitant because they are not singers, and like sing out of tune, and they don't want to embarrass themselves. So what would you say to them?
Well, I don't think the children will know that you're singing out of tune. So this obstacle is in the teacher's mind. It's not in the children's mind. If the parents are observing, yeah, it's a little embarrassing. But sometimes, for example, I had parents observing my storytelling like this through the window, and I exit and I'm saying, hey, you, join. And they come and they, whoa, what are you doing? So I invite parents to join, and then nobody is embarrassed because they understand, they see what's happening, even if they don't speak English. If you're embarrassed, the thing is, remember that you're teaching kids, okay? They're not going to see that you made a mistake. For example, when I play, this is just a personal example, there is one very heavy chord, and I didn't want to play this song because you have to put fingers like this, and this. It hurts, physically hurts to do this. And I was embarrassed to play this song. I made so many mistakes, nobody noticed. They were so happy, they wanted more. So you're not going to get evaluated by the kids. I think maybe that's my advice. What do you think, Hedy? Do you
Yeah, you might be right. I do not know, because like I'm always out of tune, even when I think I'm not. And well, there are too many people saying this to you around you, then well, they must be right.
Yes. Well, I'm not sure. Let's see, what do you say? Is anybody embarrassed? Does anybody have problems putting yourself out there? Because yes, singing, teaching, acting, it's very hard. We discussed this in one of the previous workshops with Gabby, and she said a lot of teachers are scared of drama because it puts them in the spotlight. I remember it stuck in my mind, and I don't have this problem, and I am sure the problem is not in the kids. If you think the kids are going to laugh at you, they're not. They're going to laugh with you. So if you make a mistake, just laugh at yourself. They're just going to follow you. That's what happens to me. I just laugh at myself and I say, oopsie, can we do it again? Right? And they forget. Michael, I had a friend who is totally tone deaf. I am kind of tone deaf as well. Sing the national anthem to a group of students. He received an ovation. It was so bad, it was good. Yes. Yes, I love this. It was so bad, it was good. I have no more comments. Yes, that's exactly what I'm talking about. Let's sing. Yes, I wanted to sing. Do you want? So I have instruments ready. Should we do it? Yes. Okay. Are we brave enough to unmute? Nobody will see your faces. Yeah, okay.
Are you going to teach us?
Yes, why not? I said, where are the lyrics? No lyrics. You're going to play with me. Yes. So let me hear you. I'm going to give you a choice. Would you like to? How do we unmute? Janice can help you. Yes. Do you want a song that is more? Do you want Baby Shark? That's my latest song on the ukulele. Or do you want Are You Hungry on the keyboard? So do you want ukulele or keyboard? I prefer keyboard. I'm better at the keyboard, but whatever you say. Yeah.
Keyboard.
Yes, of course. Can we try the way we would do it with young learners? Yes, of course. Keyboard. Okay, we have keyboard. So then I do have the flashcards from the. Can we get answers from somebody else? Keyboard, yes?
I'm actually here.
You're here? Okay.
Yeah, okay. I'm all in. So, yeah, I'm just waiting for the rest.
Okay. No lyrics. Hey, kid, you can't read. Did you all suddenly started reading? No, you can't read. You don't need to have the lyrics. Look at me and listen. I'm sad you can't see the keyboard, but you don't have to. So, I didn't plan on using this, so give me a second to line up. You're not gonna need keyboards. Lyrics. Wait a second. Okay. Yes, I am. I just need this. Okay, so let's do it. Let me put this safely. I don't want it to break. Okay. So, once upon a time, I met, just like I said in the video, a little monster. The monster was not smelly. It wasn't loud. La, la, la. It was cute. But the monster was also sad. Can we be sad? I see Janice and Heidi. Can you be sad? I don't see everybody else. Yes, but I'm kind of sad. And let's see, what did the monster say? Are you ready to hear? Yes, you are sad. Me too. Are you ready? Can I hear you?
Yes, we're ready.
Yes, okay. So we have a monster and he feels like this. What do you think? How does he feel? The tummy? His tummy?
Hungry.
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 Wants to eat. Yes. So let's ask the monster. Are you hungry?
Are you hungry?
Are you hungry? Can we say it louder? Are you hungry?
Are you hungry?
Hungry.
Hey, can we whisper? My dog is sleeping.
Are you hungry?
Are you hungry? And the monster says,
Yes.
I
Yes,
am.
I am.
Yes, I am. Show me the fingers. Where are the fingers?
Yes, I am.
Yes, I
Yes,
am.
I am. Let's ask the monster again. Are you hungry? Are you hungry?
Yes,
Yes, I
am.
am.
Yes, I am. But let me hear you ask the monster. What do we ask?
Are you hungry?
Are you hungry?
Are you hungry?
Yes,
Yes, I am.
Yes, I am.
Yes. Do you need any lyrics?
No.
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 What do you see here?
Are you hungry?
A banana.
A
Banana.
banana. Nom, 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 a banana. Nom, nom, nom.
Yum, 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 a banana.
Tell me. Nom, nom, nom.
Yum, 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 a banana.
Nom,
Yum,
nom.
yum, yum, a
Nom,
banana.
nom, nom.
Maria, you are absolutely great.
It's okay, so we know it. Okay, yeah, so let's do it from the top before we start singing, okay? So, can I hear you? Tell me what happens.
Are you
Are you
hungry?
hungry?
Yes, I am.
Yes, I am.
Yes,
I am. Then again.
Are you
Hungry?
Yes,
Yes,
I
I am.
Banana.
Banana.
A banana. We have some.
Oh,
a
banana.
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 A banana.
And
I'm full.
yum, yum,
Yum, yum, yum.
Yum, yum, yum.
You can see that yum yum. It's eating its fingers. Okay, that's scary. Okay. So, can we sing it now? I have only 2 hands, but I'm going to try and use them. Okay, ready? We're going to do line by line. So,
are you hungry?
Hungry.
oh, you can wait for me. Just listen. Now we listen to the melody. Let them listen to the melody. Can we do it together?
Are you hungry?
Hungry? Are you?
You hungry?
Wait, I'm alone. Okay.
Yes, I am.
Now
Yes,
you.
I am.
Yes, I am.
Yes, I am.
Yes, I am.
Yes, I am.
So we let them listen to the melody because this melody is easy for us, but it's not easy for them. Yeah, it's actually not. Okay.
Banana.
A banana.
Hey, banana.
Some drama here. Nom, nom, nom. Oh.
Yummy, 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 yummy.
Yummy.
Yum, yum, yum.
Yum, 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 yum.
Ah, woohoo! Amazing.
Well done.
Yeah. Can we do it again now without the flashcards?
Yes.
Yes.
Cheese.
1 and 2 and 3 and 4.
Are
you
hungry?
Oopsie. Okay.
Are you hungry?
Are
Are
you
you
hungry?
hungry?
Yes,
Yes,
I
I
am.
am.
Yes, I
Yes,
am.
I am.
Again. Are you?
Are you hungry?
Are you?
Are you hungry?
Yes,
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 I
I
am.
am.
Yes, I
I
am.
So
am.
cute, you're singing, and I can concentrate and play. Okay, so now.
A banana.
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 Yum, yum,
Yum,
yum,
Yum,
yum,
yum.
yum,
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 yum.
yum, yum, yum. Sweet.
Well done. Woohoo!
Well done, everyone.
Great. You're amazing. Let me see the comments. Yes, you are. You're excited. You cannot hide it. Amazing. Wow. So I made an oopsie. I made a lot of oopsies, but I don't care. And this is what you should do. Don't care. Practice. This doesn't mean you should play badly. Yes. What happens when one cannot play on an instrument? Try to learn. It's not that hard. This one has only 4 notes. I also don't know how to play. I actually play a little bit 4 instruments, but I don't play perfectly. Here is what I have. So when I have the keyboard, I have it marked. Look, are you hungry? So I mark where should I stop, and I also put the notes on a paper. And I actually don't read notes. You know, I have this calculia, so that's very hard for me. And I write numbers. So can you do it? Okay, let's see. I don't know notes. I'm just remembering numbers. Are you hungry? Are you hungry? Yes, I am. Yes, I am. See, just remembering by repetition. No notes for me. So try it. If you can't find an instrument, that's fine. Use a rhythmic orchestra. Use a rhythmic orchestra, right? Yes. So make anything. You can go with the rhythm. If you don't have a keyboard, that's okay. That's okay, of course. You don't have to have anything fancy. I mean, I have because my husband is a musician, but you don't have to. You can play online. Yes. Apps on the phone. Janice, can you suggest the name of the app so they can try?
Yeah, I will put that
Put
on
it.
the on the workshop forum. Yeah.
Yes.
There
So
are
don't
definitely
think,
loads of them.
please
But
don't think that I'm a musician. Yes. No. I am definitely not. I promise. So it's not hard.
One final question, because we've been talking about how lessons should go, you know, why it's fun. And I have a question about anticipating problems. I think that's very important. So, you know, what can go wrong? We also need to think about that, because it's not always just fun and really, you know. So what can be the reasons for a lesson that doesn't really go to plan?
I would like the participants to tell us possible problems. Everything can go wrong. When I say everything, I mean everything. So So what do you think are the problems? For me, while I wait for your problems, I do had problems forgetting the notes, which is really not a good thing to do. That's a big problem. I also have a problem of maybe expecting too much. I think the kids are going to like this, and they just don't. There is nothing you can do about it. Just quickly change. If you see they don't like it, you need to change the activity, because young learners, they're just going to tell you, this is boring. So be ready.
That's a very good point, yeah. But do you feel that when you teach young learner, you need to plan more? Because sometimes teacher feel they're reluctant to teach young learner because of that, because there's too much uncertainty. You can't predict the behavior or how they like different activity.
Yes. Well, that's true. I mean, that is true. Yes. Another thing that I think is we do not have having a TOEFL certificate in teaching young learners is sometimes not enough to teach young learners. There is so much pedagogy that should be introduced, much more than just the language one. I'm sorry, Gabby's laughing, but that's true. I see this in so many of my colleagues. They say, it's so easy. How do you do it? I studied pedagogy a lot. So, and then I just added teaching methods in for a language. So for me, that was easy. That was just an addition. But I suggest, if you're interested, study a little bit about early childhood education. You would learn so many things. For example, a lot of things that I use in English are the things that I learned in Serbian Serbian language methodology. So basically, I transfer from one subject to another, and it helps me a lot. So if you feel like there is too much, it is too much. That's not an imaginary feeling. I suggest definitely explore early childhood education. It would make you a great teacher if you do. English teacher. Yes.
Thank you so much, Milica, for today's webinar and leading us.